if you were thrilled by the towering inferno, if you were terrified by San Andreas, then you will be scared shitless by Marc the Arcturian's production of That's Armageddon. The most realistic depiction of doom, gloom, and destruction in motion picture history. With no special effects, you will never forget Marc the Arcturian's production of That's Armageddon.
Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
This is the greatest talk show on BlogTalkRadio.
From oblivion. You ever watch the Twilight?
And now, here's your host, Marc the Arcturian.
Scary.
Sisters, you know who I am. I'm Marc the Arcturian. These to 1.5 million of you.
What will they...
Greetings, everyone. This is Marc the Arcturian inviting you to a very special live call this evening, coming up in just a few hours, February 24th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Pacific, as I host the greatest talk show, being simulcast around the world and throughout the galaxy on BlogTalkRadio. It will not be simulcast on YouTube. We tried that once, couldn't tie in the equipment from the bridge of the USS Arcturus. With what we have to work with, your technology. I'm working on it, though. The dial-in number this evening is area code 619-924-0815. As you see down below, there's a link down below to listen in. Please, we need reports. We need your reports from other crew members in the field and your observations regarding the inner state of the world's populace today. And we'll hear you there this evening at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central. I'm Marc the Arcturian. Enjoy a view of the inside of the USS Arcturus while you wait. Sisters, you know who I am. I'm Marc the Arcturian. These to 1.5 million of you.
What will they do when they see us? Okay, if you're talking alien invasion, okay, if the ship comes, it's on a rescue mission. It's not here to destroy you. They would have done that a long time ago, and A. B. My ship, the USS Arcturus, is way bigger than theirs. I'm the captain of the USS Arcturus, currently in geosynchronous orbit above Earth. I have no idea where. Standard ground crew memory wipe. Standard ground crew memory wipe. Haven't got a clue where it is. And it's a galaxy class with multi-dimensional drive. That means you can zip in and out of dimensions.
Have no fear. In case of emergency, the USS Arcturus has more than enough room for every man, woman, child, plant, and animal on planet Earth. I saved you a seat. You just have to want one. Flight crew, please prepare for takeoff in 10.
All teams ready.
We'll be cruising at an altitude of 36,000 miles, and as always, thank you for flying Arcturus Air.
All teams ready.
This is your pilot speaking. Please fasten your seatbelt. You may experience a little turbulence back there. We should be through it in just a few years. Thank you.
Stay tuned. Number 2. Does it have something to do with 2012 and the Earth's magnetic field? Yes, and I hope we have time to go over that. Number 3, is it connected to the recent mass bird death phenomena? I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, penguins are birds, right? And this one is right out of the Hopi prophecy. Oh, I can hear you now. It's Hopi prophecy. Hopi, dopey. Y'all ain't realized yet that if you think there's a mistake in one of my films, I put it there. Do I gotta tell you everything? Well, in that case. As the Siberian tundra melts, anthrax, frozen in the permafrost for 40,000 years, is being released. And this one's Pandora's box, folks. The local reindeer contract anthrax and die, and local residents, I am not kidding, eat the reindeer. Yes, they die. One child, 12, 9 cases, then 20 cases of zombie anthrax. This one's right out of the prophecy. The animals of man will die. The grandchildren will feed upon the remains of the dead. And I don't believe they're talking about just animals. Water will be getting scarcer. The land, the water, and the sky will all be poisoned. I'm afraid all of that is a fait accompli. It's already a done deal. I'm even mentioned in the prophecy. Messengers will leave messages to those on Earth to remember the old ways. Yeah, I hadn't planned this in here either, but it's just what I'm supposed to put in here right now. Apparently one of you wants to know about prophecy. Let me know in the comments, and I'll make an entire film about prophecy. And we will again walk with our brothers from the stars. How many of you noticed the whole world has gone crazy? He told us that too. Yeah, it's in there. It was written, they will start as fires that burn within us, and we will burn up with desires and conflict if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful way of life. None of my films are doom and gloom films. My whole intent is to show you enough crud is going on this earth that whether it's environmentally or economically, that the systems currently in place on planet Earth are unsustainable. And there isn't one of you watching that doesn't know that on some level. The ship is going down. And whatever you cling to in this world, whether it's houses, jobs, guy, girl, house, car, boat, it's just switching seats on the Titanic. There will come a day in the all-too-near future where you won't even have one more day to choose which world you want to be a part of. I have good news. Yes, the end of the world has been postponed. Of course, that was put out last year in 2015. Postponed to when? Oh, come on, you know no man knows the hour. And if the animals aren't dying off fast enough, why, man is more than happy to help them along. Hippos and buffalo are being culled near South Africa's national park because they're threatening millions of people. They're all fighting for the same dirty water. So they did what any rational humans would do. They began killing off the hippos and buffaloes. It's perfectly logical. You know, I think that's what we should do, is kill off all animal life on the planet, because they're just using way too much natural resources that us humans need. Oh, brother, seriously. Yes, it may be. And this one's right out of the good book. A third part of the creatures, which were in the sea and had life, died. To echo what Jacques Cousteau already said in the 70s, the oceans are dying, the Pacific especially. And any Marc the Arcturian fan knows what comes next. I want you to look at the date at the top this movie was set in, some 40 years ago. That's a mere 5 years from now. Rather prophetic given the current circumstances, don't you think? But why wait? Order yours today. This is not Photoshop. you can freeze frame that and go to the web address at the top, Soylent.com. And as you can see, it's made for you and me out of all natural ingredients, like you and me. Gives whole new meaning to the term people food. So there's 9 cases of anthrax in Siberia. 1 child died, and 20 more infected by zombie anthrax. And some things never change, no matter what country you're in. They didn't tell the residents for 5 weeks. Here's Russia's hazmat team preparing to incinerate the anthrax-ridden reindeer carcasses at intense heat. Well, I think we should get that virus airborne right away. Here's where the publishing it was. Some of you may remember this picture. Also out of my film 2015 is the new 2012, where I cracked the mystery of the Siberian craters. Those tips, those sandbars up there are Siberia. The Yamal Peninsula, that's where the Siberian craters are, and that blue dot was magnetic North Pole. All the opposing forces there, methane, pow! Boom! Pop those cores right out of there. And in case you don't recall, it's at a part of the world called, no kidding, the end of the world. And since magnetic north is there, I like to call it the top of the world. Number 4, you gotta love it, was the sun just reflecting off the ice and water. Oh, seriously. Now, don't you notice they conveniently left off the most logical theory of all? Earth moved! Now, there is a number 6. And as usual, I, Marc the Arcturian, have deduced the actual reason. The sun rose 2 days early on 1/11/11 in Greenland. Turns out, it was just a lens flare.
Stay tuned.
Just look at all we squoze out of 2 30-second clips, and the best may be yet to come. During production of this film, I've found 100% proof, undeniable evidence. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson himself cannot debunk that this is all true and happening right on schedule. But I see we're out of time, so here's some scenes from Earth 2016, Part 3.
I'd say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
2012, big movie came out. So now we have this idea it happens like that in one day, right? Big cataclysm. Oh, we'll get there, don't worry, but right now it's slow. It's just like you left the water on in the bathtub a little too long, and it's overflowing a little, and it's rising slowly. Then comes 2012 date, and the entire world knew that on 12/21/12, the world was going to end. Dun, dun, dun. That's how it was played out. And the movie 2012 certainly furthered that idea that it was going to all happen in one day, Armageddon, floods, quakes, etc. That it would all happen in 24 hours one day. And though we will get to those days with great upheavals and cataclysmic events, and if anyone can't see that that's the progression we're going, then we just have been living in a rock or spending too much time on Facebook or watching pet yawning videos. Because when I say 2012 now playing at a corner near you, it doesn't matter where you live on this planet anymore. You know something's going on. Am I right?
Correct. Right.
Because the title is, of course, 2012, now playing everywhere. Or, thank God, it can't happen here.
Thank God that can't happen here.
Stay tuned.
In other words, if you took the movie 2012, but you spread it out over 10 years, 2012 is happening now playing everywhere, as Earth's timeline is rapidly approaching event date.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
polar flip. Apparently the whole thing only lasts about 17 minutes. Then what we'll see is like the movie.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but?
It happens in our lifetime. Otherwise, it serves no purpose for us being here.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.com.
A lot of you are familiar with the Mayan stone, which shows the motion of every celestial body in the galaxy for 5,000 years, even though they didn't even have a telescope 5,000 years ago. How'd they do that?
They're from the future.
If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
They're from the future.
If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
How poetic.
But they left us this message, which they had to know nobody's going to pay attention to 5,000 years from now. It's why they wrote it in stone, so that it might last until we get here, but still nobody's going to believe it. You know how they knew that? Because they didn't believe it. That would have been halfway between Atlantis and now. The earliest recorded human civilization, the Sumerians, Egyptians, 3100 BC, or one Mayan cycle, 5,127 years ago. Earliest recorded human history. Is that because humans didn't exist before that? No. It's because every piece of recorded history we had before that was wiped out the last time this happened. Was wiped out the last time this happened.
This has been an Earth 2016 special report. I'm Marc the Arcturian. Doom and gloom is next over most of these stations.
I'd say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.